Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting. A changing thing, yes. An evolving thing. An expanding thing. That's a good thing. You are enjoying having desires that aren't fulfilled. Oh, they're our favorite. Those are our favorite. So think about the focus wheel. The focus wheel is a process where we encourage you. Something has happened and you know that you want something. You know you want it. You're just not getting it. And so you make your statement of desire, and it's irritating even to make that statement of desire because it's a statement of desire that feels bogus because it isn't happening. So you're in a sort of wad of resistance because what you want isn't. There's no evidence of the manifestation of it. So then we encourage you to see the focus wheel like a big clock, so to speak, and write some circles around this, 10 or 12 circles around the outside edge, and make your statement of desire and write that right in the center of your focus wheel. I want
X.
I want X. I want a lover, or I want more money, or I want a better job, or I want to live more abundantly, or I want an improvement in my body. Whatever it is, I want. Now you've written it, but you don't believe it. And the evidence that you're living supports the fact that you don't believe it. So the focus wheel is offered in order to help you to let go of that cork, to do something different than what you've been doing. So now we encourage you, the premise of the focus wheel is, you know those merry-go-rounds that are out there in the playground that sometimes the kids had them going so fast that when you tried to get on, it just spun you off in the bushes? But if they would slow it down, you could get on, then you could all speed it up together. Well, the focus wheel is like that. You've got beliefs that are moving so fast that you can't fix them. When you try, you just get spun off in the bushes. It's something that you believe too much. You believe it so much that when you try to change that belief, it doesn't work. There's too much momentum in the unhelpful belief. Yeah. So the focus wheel was one of the first processes that we offered in helping you to go more general. We weren't calling it that in those days, but we said, try to find something that you already believe that doesn't throw you off in the bushes. So you just start stabbing in the dark a little bit. You just start reaching for something that is about this desire that doesn't throw you off in the bushes. In other words, it doesn't make you wad up in a knot. It fits. Everything that you wanted from your non-physical perspective was about focus. It was about the thrill of focus. It was about the satisfying feeling in alignment of thought. It was about connecting to the energy stream that creates worlds and focusing that same stream in the direction of your choices, understanding that a focus is all that was required. That all you had to do is decide and hold a steady focus, and steady is the operative word in this sentence, a steady focus that would then naturally, inevitably gather around itself, because law of attraction is a very powerful thing. Activate a thought, don't dilute it with contradictory thought, hold it steady, and it must become more. And eventually, in the becoming, it will manifest so that others will see it. But if early on in that process you are measuring what's manifested and others' point of view of it, and if it hasn't manifested to the degree that they can see it, or if you manifest something that others don't approve of and you care, then without meaning to, you water down, you dilute that energy stream. And so the manifestation is slower to come. And most important, your experience in the process isn't satisfying. And then you begin to wonder, what's it all about? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Are my goals and dreams and hopes valid? Or do I need to measure them against all others to see how they stack up? And if I find myself on the approved list of desires, then how do I ensure that I will receive them? And who do I ask about how well I'm doing? And who gets to decide? Who gets the juice today? Is it available to all of us? Or is there a quantifiable pile of energy stream juice? And if somebody else is needing it more than me, should I hold back and deprive myself? Well, we've sort of stated here the questions that we hear from so many humans who are, for one reason or another, not allowing themselves the steady stream of manifestational evidence of their focused energy. So let's say that what you are looking for is more financial abundance. And you're not living it, you don't even believe it, but you're willing to play the stupid focus wheel process game because you do believe that some people are benefiting, you do have some beliefs, and you do want things to go better. So you think a thought such as, I suppose things could go better for me. Off in the bushes because you don't believe it. I really need a lot of money and I need it fast. Off in the bushes because you don't believe that it's going to come. A lot of people have money. I hate them. Off in the bushes. Off in the bushes you go. So you still haven't found a general enough thought that lets you make a statement and put it on the wheel. You're trying, but you can feel all you've done so far is just aggravate the fact that you're not where you want to be. It's just annoying. So then you say, there are areas of my life where things are going well. You didn't get flung off on the bushes on that one. Not money, off in the bushes you go. There are some things that are going well. So you write, some things are working for me. That felt pretty good. You found a general statement that in that one statement, your vibration softened. You are less resistant than you were before. Which means now you are less resistant than you were before. You have access to thoughts that you didn't have access to before. In other words, in today's conversation, your grid is beginning to fill in with other ideas. So then you think, I remember worrying about such and such and it turned out all right. So maybe things are working out for me. Didn't get thrown off in the bushes again. Now you've got two statements on your wheel. They both felt pretty good. And you are slightly distracted from the fact that you don't have any money. In other words, you feel a little better than you felt. And now you're sort of beginning to pick up some momentum. You've raised your vibration enough that ideas are beginning to flow. You don't feel abundant enough for abundance to avalanche into your experience, but you sure feel better than you felt a little bit ago. So then you say, some ideas will come to me. Didn't get thrown off in the bushes. It might even be fun to watch for ideas coming. That sort of is kind of how it works. This might be fun to watch this unfold. I like the idea of being a deliberate creator. I do believe I create my own reality. I haven't known how I do it, but I sure like finding out how I do it. I know I'm a teacher. I want to teach through example. It's fun to figure this stuff out. I know that words don't teach. I'm feeling better already. I can feel that I'm on a path of less resistance than I was on. I'm looking forward to what's coming next. I have been a pretty good provider. I've worked harder than I really want to, but I always figure it out. I can see how I've let things come only to the degree that I believe them. And I believe I can expand my beliefs. I believe I can expand my beliefs. I believe that everybody is the recipient of as far as they are able to believe. Ooh, I really like the idea of stretching how far I believe. I adore the idea of expanding my belief. I believe that law of attraction will bring things proportionate to what I believe. I'm excited about realizing that it's open-ended. I'm just beginning to scratch the surface of abundance in so many areas of my life. This is really a fun thing. And now you look at what you wrote in the center of that circle, and now you believe it. You don't doubt it. You moved your vibration by going general to a place that it has not been before. And now your entire point of attraction has shifted, because in the same way that the ideas began to flow to you during the process of the focus wheel, all things in the universe related to you have shifted too. And now conversations show up differently. Ideas show up differently. Offerings show up differently. Now evidence of your shift shows up everywhere around you. Sometimes Esther would say to us, well, Abraham, I know you don't think I should be thinking about this because it doesn't feel good when I think about it. But it is true. It's true. And therefore, because it is true, I think that it deserves my attention. And we say, anything you give your attention to becomes true. And the more attention you give it, the realer it becomes, the closer it comes to you. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, the criteria that we would use for things that we would give our attention to are not the truth of them, not the evidence of them, not even if a lot of others or even most others are looking at them in that way. We would ask ourselves, in every subject that we might be giving our attention to, how does this attention to this subject promote more of what I want? In other words, it's true. Do I want it to be true? It's true. Do I want more of it? It's true. And do I want the more of it to come closer to me? And if the answer to that is yes, then give it all the attention you have time to give it. Talk about it, write about it, blog about it. Blog about it. But if it is not something that feels good when you give your attention to it, do your best to distract yourself from it. And sometimes you say, but it is so true and so vivid and so up close to me, I cannot seem to turn my attention from it. And we say, yes, you can. You just have to try a little harder. And often you say, but Abraham, it is so vivid and so real. And we say, why is it real? You've been giving your attention to it. Want to make it less real for you? Turn your attention from it. And you say, but it's so close and it is so big and it is so loud. And now there are other people around me pointing right at it and asking me, do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? So when you get into the flow of this eternal becoming, and you begin enjoying the process of the becoming, then you no longer feel uncomfortable about the contrast because you know it is necessary to the becoming. We want you to know that there are always reasons to want more, that you are always refining, and that when you have that knowledge, that attitude, that nothing has ever gone wrong, it's just another door opening for more to come to you. That is the reason, in fact, that you come back again and again and again. You don't say, I'll go forth and this time we'll get it right. We'll decide what politics are right. We'll decide what religion is right. We'll decide what is the proper way to raise children. We'll decide what is appropriate food to eat. We'll get it all decided and we'll write it down. Maybe we can get God to write it on tablets and put it somewhere. We'll get it all written down, and then we will come forth and we will find a way of complying with what has already been decided. We will be obedient. And we say, you will be bored. And you would really be dead, and there is no such thing as dead. You would be finished if you did not have the opportunity to explore and come to your own personal new conclusions about what you want. Life would not flow through you. And what we want to convince you about is that once you come to those personal conclusions, no matter how broad or narrow or important or unimportant you deem them to be, once you come to those important conclusions, once you come to a decision about something that you want, the energy that creates worlds lines up behind you, lines up to support you, lines up to fuel you and feed you, in the same way that the energy that creates worlds. Because this is how it works, you see. You are a leading edge creator, and you are meant to come to new decisions. And so you came forth to explore, and every time you explore, even in something that is really known to you, you are still refining it and coming to further conclusions about how it would be better still. The improvement never stops because that is what life really is about. Not because it's broken and needs to be fixed, but because it's eternal and will always be in the state of becoming.